Alright, what's going on, guys? Blake here, and we're doing another little restoration today. This is, if I even remember or care to edit this together and upload it. But this is the Big Mouth Billy Bass Jr. It doesn't say Junior on the plaque, I don't know why I'm zooming in on it. But anyways, today was the first time I tested this guy in forever. And as you can hear and see, gear is loud as shit in there. The mouth works, but it does that. And it's weird because it doesn't feel split, but clearly there's something wrong. Could be the motor, it could be the gear, it could be locked up, but it does that a lot, and it's really annoying. Everything kind of works, but it's still all split. I'm gonna try replacing the gear in the mouth first, and if that doesn't work, then I'll clean out the motor, or I'll take the motor apart and get all the grime and crap out of there. But obviously for this, gonna need our 10-tooth and 9-tooth gears, which I've only got a handful. Well, I've actually got plenty of 9-tooths left, but I've got I've got two 10-tooths left, so this is probably going to be one of the last things I use a 10-tooth in for a while. Or I could try a 9-tooth, I don't know, we'll see. Maybe a 9-tooth will work better with it. But anyways, we're going to get to taking this guy apart, and we're going to see what's inside. Okay, so we're inside of it, and you can see, actually, a screw holder fell out, which is that one right there. And I've actually messed with this board before, which I totally forgot about. I had to jump out this trace going to this resistor over here. Not a beautiful job, by any means. And not to mention this, which I had to resolder too. I mean, it works, so I'm not going to mess with it, but good thing I've never touched the speaker, because I really, for some reason in these fish, I like to replace the speaker. Oh, that's, what the hell? Screw's loose. Don't know why that is, because I don't think I ever took it out. Hold on, tighten it down. There we go. So that's held in there. I don't remember doing that though, like ever taking this speaker out or anything, so I'm wondering why that is the way it is. But I'm hoping these wires don't come off, because that's going to be really annoying. But anyways, I just got to take this one screw out, pop this motor off, pop a new gear on, and we'll see how it works from there. And then after that, I'll go up in the skin or in the head. I just gotta take all this off and go up there, and I'll replace the, yeah, you can actually hear it. You can hear the split in that, clearly. I think that gear that I put in there when I first did this was an older gear. It wasn't a newer one, so that's probably why, because this happens all the time with items like this, where back then I didn't really feel like putting a brand new gear in it, or I didn't have one, so I threw in a gear from an older item in it, and in less than 2-3 years time they end up splitting. So anyways, I'm gonna get to the point now. I'm gonna put a new 9-tooth in here, and I'll show you guys, I guess, how to do that once I get that motor out. Alright, we got our motor out, and as you can see, there's a clear and obvious split in that. So, and that's a 9-tooth. That actually does look like one of my new ones, like one of the ones that was fresh. That is a little bit concerning, because it's making me wonder. It was tight on there, that's why it was still working, but it was, you guys could see it was clearly split. So let me grab another 9-tooth if I can. Sorry for bad camera angles, but I'm just trying to work with what I got, and I don't got a tripod, so let me see. I'm gonna pop this. Oh wait, hold on. It's our new gear. I'm gonna pop this on the motor, and then we'll pop the motor in and test it. Obviously, okay, let me set the camera down while I shove this gear on here. Alright, that should be good. Let me see. You can see that's fresh geared, no splits in that. So, I'm not going to put the screws in yet for the motor, or the one screw that I had in there, but we're going to test it and see how fresh the sound is. Oh yeah. So much better. Mouth still gets stuck. Motor's not the most powerful thing in the world, that's why his head doesn't go all the way up all the time. Plus I haven't used it, that's how far it can actually go up. But I haven't used it in forever either, so that could be a reason why, but I'm not really for sure on that. Actually, what the hell? Wait, the pitch resistor's right there, and that's what's been messed with, but what's going on over here? Was this me? I'm wondering, I don't know, that might have been from factory. That resistor, I thought that was gonna be the pitch resistor that I replaced. Because I remember I was trying to make it low pitch, I think, or something. I mean, why else would I have been messing with the pitch resistor? And it, like, screwed the traces up, and I had to quickly try and fix it. Which, I mean, it worked, but I thought it was this resistor right here that I messed with. That's why it's on the surface of the board now, which it probably shouldn't be. I don't know. This thing's weird. It's always been weird. But, anyways, we're going to get this bracket off, which obviously you just take the screw, in my case, the three screws out right here, because this one doesn't exist anymore. That whole thing is all sorts of cracked apart. But it does hold up, so I really don't care. And then you gotta take these 3 screws out. There was probably originally some kind of there was originally something to help hold this rubber in place. But that's obviously not there anymore. Oh, that's glue. Oh, I glued it. That's awesome. That's a great decision on my part. Just glue the thing to the plaque, which I really didn't need to do, because you can see this just kind of holds in place. And if I really cared about it that much, I honestly just could have stuck a little screw in there to help hold this down without going all the way through the plaque. Because there's still a little bit of... I don't know if I'm... There you go. You can see there's still a little bit of leverage there to use. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. I don't know, we'll see. I might not even seal that. I might just leave that as is. But I'm gonna get to taking this bracket off, and then I'll get to you guys again once I've done that. Okay, so as you can see, we got this bracket off, and I noticed something that I completely forgot about. It's the fact that this whole thing, you see all that shit on there? This whole thing has completely cracked apart before. When I first took this thing apart, every piece of plastic in it had fell apart completely. That was like right in this area that helped hold this thing together. Which really sucks, but hopefully, I was careful taking this off, so hopefully this doesn't shatter. But anyways, I'm going to pull some of this rubber off here and pull him off his plaque. Or he should just come right off or slide right out like here. There we go. I'm going to leave the motor attached to the speaker right there. Hold on, let me set this down. I can look at him for a second. while I somewhat get this closed. Let me see here. There we go. Okay. That's good. Just have the motor sit right in there. You can see his mouth is wide open. Don't know why. But listen to that. It doesn't sound like there's anything wrong with that. I'll replace the gear and I'll see if that's the issue. If not, then obviously I'm going to have to really dig into here and clean the motor out. Oh yeah, and I completely forgot. I don't know if you can see that. That piece and that piece in there are completely yellowed. And this guy fell off the wall at one point in time. And that entire headpiece in there completely shattered. So I gotta be extremely careful with this. If I'm gonna end up getting like all the way up in here, I'm taking the tail plate off first before I go any further. Because I really, first of all, I do not want to snap that whistle piece again, because it's been snapped like maybe 3 or 4 times. And then I also don't want to shatter any of that, because that's all glued back together in there. You can probably see some of the hot glue, because I don't think it was all hot glue that held it together. I'm pretty sure I used super glue and hot glue, but which means it probably shouldn't break anytime soon. It hasn't since, so I mean it's pretty strong, but I don't want to take any risks. So first I'm gonna try and get up here and replace that gear, and after that, if that doesn't work, then obviously I'll go in there and I'll take the motor apart and clean it up. Of course, the gear was split, but this ended up happening in the process of getting it out, which I honestly should have expected. Let's see in there. It's only one of these holes on this end though, so I didn't shatter it completely, so I think honestly I could probably just put this on and screw it on and act like nothing ever happened, and it'll probably be okay. But that really sucks. I was not wanting that to happen, but it's okay. It'll still be fine, I think. But I am going to pop a new 10-tooth gear on there, because it was split. I could tell there was a split in it. It was a little hard to get off, so I don't think it was completely split, but it was definitely split enough to hold the motor in place whenever, because that's what was happening. I don't think it was actually slipping on the motor. I think it was legitimately like getting stuck on the actual split itself. Oh. See, I really got to be more careful with this thing. I'm hearing so much like snapping and cracking sounds that I really don't want to hear. Not to mention, this gear, I don't know what the hell it's made out of. This is the hardest gear I've ever had to put on anything. That does not want to go on there. Okay, no, it is. It is going on. I gotta push it on without pulling back on this mechanism too much, because I don't want to snap it. Okay, that'll be good. Whoa. Oh yeah, I forgot. Half the mouth mechanism is snapped off, so it's not going to move smooth until I put this piece back on here. I don't know, a 10-tooth honestly feels kind of tight for that, though. We'll see. I might put a 9-tooth on it, or that might end up being what I do. Let's see. I'm gonna pop this piece. I know you guys can't see anything. I'm sorry about that. Why can't this piece does not want to go? It doesn't want to slot back in. What the hell? Oh my god, why does that not want to go back in how it came out? Might have to pause while I try to do this real quick. So I had to end up going all the way up in this damn thing because this piece kept like cracking, which it's fine. It didn't break, but obviously I didn't want to take the risk of it breaking any worse. I should have taken the skin off from the get-go because it honestly really was not that hard. But I ended up putting a 9-tooth gear in here, which fits perfectly, as you can see, because yeah, it was the gear being split that was affecting it in the first place, but also 10-tooths jam it. Like, they're just way too big for some reason. I have no idea why, because that's what it originally used. So now it seems to work just fine, and it doesn't jam up or anything. It's not, obviously it's not going to be as silent. Actually, it is fairly quiet. But obviously you can see this piece is still a thing, but really you can just line it up with this, and then if I can, let me do this real quick. There you go. It literally just locks back into place. The way it snapped was in a way where it can literally just lock back into place without moving, and then you can just put these screws back in and it'll be perfectly fine. So I got lucky on that I don't have to go back and try and fix that. That actually makes it easier to replace the gear again at some point, because I can just take those screws out and then this whole piece pops off. But we're gonna get this thing back together, and I'm gonna show you guys how it works off the plaque, and then I'll obviously do the final demo.
Take me to the river, put me in the water.
Works great. Alright, so since basically everybody that's watching this video already knows what this thing does, I'm just gonna play the one song, I Will Survive, and then call this video. But you guys be the judge of how this came out.
At first I was afraid, I was petrified, kept thinking I could never live without you by my side. But then I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong, and I grew strong, and I learned how to get along, and now I'm back on the plaque. Don't look surprised that I'm still singing, cause you know I have the knack. Can you believe what you see? Bet you can't believe it's me. Did you think for just 1 second you'd be back to look at me? I will survive, I will survive, I will survive.